everyone, what's going on? Joey here, and you guys voted on YouTube at the community tab that you wanted to see the Russian dolls revealed, and so that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna go through the clues, we're gonna answer the clues, compare the audio, and go through the pitch correct audio. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, and you give this video a thumbs up. We're trying to hit 40,000 by the end of the season, so if you agree with us, please give us a subscribe. Let's get started. So, we're going to dive straight into the clues. Now, we have 3 weeks of clues. This is the most clues we've had for this group. And so, from episode 1, we kind of figured out who it was. But it wasn't until now that they threw in a 4th contender that throw a lot of people off. And so, over 2,500 people voted to go ahead and say, hey, look, we want this group to be revealed. Joey, please do all of the math, do all of the clues, and tell us who's under the mask. So we're going to do that right now, starting off with week 1 clues. I've been working on my own for quite some time. Not like the beginning back when I was the world's hottest toy. I knew I was more than just something to be toyed with, a puppet. And as much as they tried to put me in the box, I just didn't fit. Newer, shinier, manufactured toys filled the shelves, so I was cast to the side. And it was the best thing ever. Turns out I could still sell out without being a total sellout. I'm ready to show there's more beneath the surface. Visual clues included a pitcher of milk, puppets, the helm of a boat, a train, a sign that says Misfit Toy Store, and a sign that says Garden State Highway. And we see that it's snowing in the beginning of the clue packages. Next, we saw them again at week 3. We totally confused the panel with our harmonies, but we haven't always been in unison. I was totally doing what I love when I noticed something seriously wrong. I was rushed to the hospital, and there was no guarantee that I would be the same. And if it weren't for the glue that bonded us, I may have not survived. The trauma made us stronger, and now we don't take anything together for granted. Visual clues included the solar system, a banjo, a fire truck, a Letterman's jacket with the M on it. Right? Next was week 6, aka this past week. When this duo became a trio last week, it was a real game changer for us. Every single time I hear game changer, I just hear like the song Game Changer from the show, obviously. Performing on this epic stage was a far cry from where we started. Life on the road was definitely not glamorous. Yeah, we performed everywhere, from parking lots to softball fields, even pizza restaurants. But we put our heart and soul to every performance. And the years of hustle paid off when we finally got a chance to perform for the president. And we crushed it. Yeah, we raised the roof on the White House. Visual clues included a tour bus, a California license plate, and the snow owls from last season. That episode was also the episode where Nick had his special Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon yet, yeah. And when that shirt came out, it says, what goes around comes around. Which a lot of people, oh, Justin Timberlake. Maybe it's not Justin Timberlake. Don't worry. So those are all the clues that we have so far. The additional clue was from the Clueadoo. Thank you, buddy. Where they pretty much said that, they pretty much replicated themselves 15 times. So now that's really technically all of the clues. Now let's dive into the pitch correct audio. If this is your first time on this channel, you probably have no idea what the pitch correct audio is, but every single week we have these brand new clue packages, and in those clue packages are the celebrities speaking. But Fox is smart. They're like, we can't let them see the real voice or hear the real voice, because if we do, guess what? People are going to recognize it. So what do? They take the audio, they speed it up, they pitch it up. That way you have no idea who it is. Now, I'm an executive audio producer in New York City, where it's my job to make audio sound good. When it sounds bad like this, I try to find a way to make it sound good, and that's where pitch correct comes in handy. I figured I could slow it down, pitch correct it, that way we can hear the real celebrity voices. That, and then what we do is we go through all of the clues, we come up with a list of 5 different people we think it is, and then we compare the audio, and we compare the clues at the same time, and then boom! We figure out who is under the mask. We've been doing this from episode 1, season 1 of The Masked Singer, and gotten them all right with the exception of one. The Eagle, Dr. Drew. We thought it was Bret Michaels, and it's funny because then he came back as a banana. the season after. Now for the pitch correct audio for these guys, it's kind of strange because for every single clue package, they've used a different person in the group. Because the first one, you could tell, is definitely a female voice. The second one is another voice. And the third one's another voice. I know, it's kind of strange. And so I'm going to go ahead and probably play 2 of them. And then we'll talk about it. So here you go.
You see, I've been doing my own thing for quite some time. Not like in the beginning, back when I was the world's hottest toy.
You see, I've been doing my own thing for quite some time. Not like in the beginning, back when I was the world's hottest toy. Those were the days. But I knew I was more than just something to be toyed with, a puppet. And as much as they tried to put me in a box, I just didn't fit.
Well, these colors just really pop like we do.
So yes, you hear that and you're like, why do they keep changing the voice? Because it's a group. It's not just one, it's 4 of them. I don't believe we're getting any more. But it's 4 of them. So you're probably saying to yourself, but what group that has those clues that match up? Who is it? Who is it, Joey? And so it's Hanson, folks. It's Hanson. I know you're like, but there was never a 4th member. There was never. I mean, they have other family members, including some sisters that can sing. Some of them that can play violin really amazing. So it makes sense. Let's try to go ahead and compare a few things. First, let's compare them singing to Hanson singing. Here you go.
You're the one I want to want me. You're my love. I can see a new tomorrow.
Now let's compare some of the pitch correct audio. Like for example, the girl talking, I think, is the sister Zoe. Take a listen.
You see, I've been doing my own thing for quite some time.
I'll leave it at that, because if I keep going, it's going to get dangerous. You're making me so hungry right now.
And that second one, it sounds like Taylor. Doesn't it? It sounds just like Taylor. He has a little bit higher voice, so it kind of works out.
Well, these colors just really pop like we do.
Key is that you never stop arguing.
To me, so far, the singing matches up. Them speaking matches up. Let's go ahead and continue on to answering these clues. Because a lot of you guys are like, well, there's a lot of things in here that don't add up. Can we talk about that? So yes, I've answered as many as I could. And to be honest with you, it's as close as we're going to get. Because some of these don't even make any sense, to be honest with you. And I feel like that every single episode, we get some clues that don't add up to kind of throw us off. But starting off with week 1 clues. They said as much as they tried to put me in a box, it didn't fit. New, shinier manufactured toys filled the shelves, so it was casted to the side. So they had a 3-year struggle with the record label, Def Jam Records, which were keeping them to, their contract of you have to do these albums. And they kind of felt really strained to be in there. But they finally got out of it and they started their own label. That's right, it was called, 3CG. That's where they said it turns out it was the best thing ever that they got out of it, that they could be a sellout without being a total sellout. So they could sell out, but at least now they're doing it on their own terms. After that, we saw the visual clues puppets. Well, I feel like this is a play around from Jim Henson. Get it, Henson and Hanson, because Jim Henson did the Muppets, which are technically puppets, and they're Hanson. It's like it's just a play around right there. Or you can say that the record label was holding them to their deal, which is kind of controlling them like puppets. We saw the helm of a boat. There is a boat company called Hanson Boats. Has nothing to do with them, but I just figured it kind of adds up right there. There was a sign that says Garden State Highway. They had their first mall performance at Primaris Park Mall, which is actually not too far away from here. This is where they first performed. Yeah, anyway, it's always stuck in my head. The next clue was the picture of milk. In the 90s, they were part of the Got Milk campaign. And I remember that photo hanging up in my cafeteria. Seriously. It was a 3 of the milk thing. You walk in, it was right there. Gosh, I felt like yesterday. I know. Anyway, they had a sign that said Misfit Toy Store. Well, the initials spell out Isaac, Taylor, and Zach. But there's another Z in there. And I think that's the sister Zoe, the fourth member now of the group. Well, at least on The Masked Singer. It also could represent their appearance on the show Yo Kids. So 2 answers right there for you. Next is a snowing setting. Well, there were 2 different albums they had. There was Christmas albums. The biggest one they had was Snowed In. Next were clues from week 3. They said, I love what I was doing, and when I noticed something seriously wrong, I was rushed to the hospital. There was no guarantee I would ever be the same. If it weren't for the glue that bonded us, I may not have survived. The trauma made us stronger. 2 things happened. The first one was in 2007. Isaac had this horrible chest pain and shoulder pain and went to the hospital. Turns out he had a pulmonary embolism, aka a blood clot that traveled to his lung. If it wasn't for the doctors, he would have died. That's right. And then later on in 2000, and I want to say it was at 12, one of them unfortunately was in a car accident, a motorcycle car accident. But I really think it's the 2007 instance they're talking about, because they said here they were doing what they love and they noticed something wrong. Anyway, from there, I can't answer the solar system. I don't know why. I can't find any connection to that. If you can, let me know in the comment section. We saw a banjo. Isaac has played the banjo before. We saw the Letterman's jacket with the M. That refers to their 1997 song, Mbop. Next were clues from episode 6. They said life on the road wasn't glamorous. Yeah, we performed everywhere. It's true, they really did. That was back when, the only way you got really famous is when you drove to mall, because that's where the people were, and performed for everyone. So they were totally traveling everywhere. They said the years of hustling paid off, where we finally get to perform for the president, and we rocked the house and took the roof off of the White House. That's true, they performed Mbop for President Clinton at the White House. Visual clues, we saw snow owls. Once again, we're talking about snow, so it could be from their snow albums that they've done, their Christmas albums. But they're also technically, they were born in the country. So we know that Clint Black, country star, he's from New Jersey, but he represents country, and I believe that's the connection right there. They don't sing country, but they're from the country, Oklahoma. The Nick Cannon clue, What Goes Around Comes Around, is from their first album from 1995 called Boomerang, because it goes around and comes around. Next is the Clue-a-Doos, where he talks about Russian dolls and some 15 replicas of themselves. Well, if you add up all the children that the brothers have, there's 15 all together. So there you go. Those are all the clues and how they add up. I don't know the fire truck. I don't know the solar system. So if you know them, let me know in the comment section. I want to know, do you agree? Do you disagree? I know this video was a little bit longer than normal, but there was a lot of stuff to get through. And to be honest with you, I'm happy for these guys. I truly am. Now, I kind of want to jump back to the master list of clues, which I'm going to make a video about because they make absolutely no sense right now. I don't know what happened. It kind of became one of these things where it was like, none of these are adding up. Even though we know our guesses are right, they're not adding up. For the Russian dolls, we have 5 multi-platinum records, 2 gold records, 1 multi-platinum single with Mbop, 3 Grammy nominations, 40 million net worth, 3 marriages, and 16 records sold. So that's where we're at with our master list of clues. I'll have to make another video about that. But anyway, please, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 40,000. Turn on notifications and give this video a thumbs up. When you do that, for some reason, it helps out the Google algorithm, the Google and the YouTube algorithm, and helps push our channel. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I'm Joey. I'll see you later. Bye.